Are you ready?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Tool to Play presents Still Got Game with Derek D. Smooth Nolan and Joel Dude I Rock Albert.
This episode of Still Got Game is brought to you by ThinkGeek and the Craft Beer Club. Hey now, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Still Got Game, episode 349. Still Got Game's official podcast of ToolsPlay.com. I am, as always, Derek D. Smooth Nolan.
And I am Joel Dude I Rock Albert.
And Tiffany Electrified Nolan will not be joining us from the news desk later because she is sick. So Jay's back in old school news reading mode tonight, which is when we get our finest reads.
Absolutely. Didn't read this beforehand. Have no idea what we're talking about.
I would expect you not to do that at all. See, this is exactly how it works because you're just like, what? And works out better that way. But yeah, so it's been a couple weeks since we had a show. We had some conflicts. Jay was on doing some vacation, but we did promise you we would be back here for the Derek D. Smooth Nolan post birthday show. And we are here for the post-birthday show.
That's right.
So, we did keep a promise. One. Just one. But it's better than nothing. All right. Well, why don't we just hit the show ground running, jump right in. We'll hit feedback from last week's show. Remember, if you want to leave us a voicemail, it will cut you off after a minute. Purtle comments. I forget what you guys sound like. Just kidding. I'm looking forward to the 12th. Well,
here it is.
Let you know. We're here.
We're here.
We told you we'd be here, and we are here. It's like Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. It's to be here at this time, and boom, you're there. And it just works out. So we're glad that you were looking forward to us, and now you can remember what our voices sound like. All right. RT1989 comments. A friend just turned me onto your podcast, and I'm hooked. Thanks for the entertainment. You're welcome.
Have you gone through now what you really have to do to be a true fan? You got to do all of the years starting from the very beginning all the way to now.
Do the full archive.
Do the full thing. It should take you 2 to 6 months. Constant listening. And you'll finally be on board with like who we are and how we've grown as a community.
You really don't appreciate
breadth. No. Yeah.
The strides we've made in the show.
Right.
And let's start episode 1 and end up here at episode 349.
Yeah.
So yeah. And so yeah, actually, and where Purtle was saying, forgot what we sounded like. Purtle could have gone back as well. And
True. Why waste time? You don't need to have a week of no podcast. There's plenty of content you can listen to from games that we don't even play anymore. Yeah, there you go.
Yep. Talking back, some of the early episodes, we talked about Xbox is getting banned and stuff like that back in the day with mods.
The release of Halo 3. I mean, who doesn't want to listen to that shit?
It's retro goodness. So definitely dial it back and catch up. All right. Last but not least, Quiz Train comments. Sometimes your show is really good.
You know, a comment like this, I would like some sort of a percentage. I would like I just want a range. Like, is it 50% of the time? Or is it like 80% of the time? Or is it 10% of the time?
Yeah. Sometimes is a pretty
it's a little
general
vague
term.
for me. Yeah.
And I really could have used another sentence after this, maybe with some clarification. Like, sometimes your show is really good, especially lately. Or
it's like a setup sentence, and then there's just no end to it.
Yeah, there's no punch.
Guess what I'm going to tell you? And then that's the end. You just have to guess. That's it. He's just telling you to guess.
Yep. We're definitely
I'm going to go with 99% of the time. That's what you meant. So I
think so too.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Ironically, Quiz Train. It's almost like a quiz.
It is.
Are we good? Are we not? We don't know.
Only Quiz Train knows.
Quiz Train is the master of quizzes.
The master. Yeah.
Yes. All right. Well, thank you all for your awesome feedback. And if any of you have feedback for us, give us a call, 773-527-2961, or email us at podcast@tooltoplay.com. And on that, why don't we hop over and what we're playing? Joel Dude I Rock Albert, what multitude of games are you playing this week?
Let's see. This week, still a little bit of Destiny, but not much anymore because we're kind of at that point. All my shit's at 400. I don't care about the racing stuff that's coming out, so I'm not really excited about that. But I am playing Division again. I started playing the Division again a lot. They recently released their new patch 1.5. They've basically revamped the entire game from the ground up. So if you've ever played the old Division, it is no longer anything like that anymore. In fact, they've made it extremely easy for anyone to just jump in and get like a full gear set in less than an hour, which is crazy. But if you jump in and you have a max level character already, you basically can take an hour to 2 hours to get the max gear score level, and then everything from that is just, farming like you normally would. And they've essentially, if you like Diablo, they've basically made it a looter shooter like Diablo. So you're always getting gear, but your goal then is to get the best gear of that gear set. So it's not like how in Destiny you're hoping to get gear. You will always get gear. It's just whether that gear is going to be good for the thing that you're trying to do, whatever that is, PvP, PvE. But they've done a good job. They've, obviously it's been a year and since it was released, and there's been numerous bugs, and the game has not done well on a lot of those things, but you got to give the developers credit. They've worked at it. They've tried to bring people in. So I'm giving them a chance, and so far it's been pretty good, I have to say. So I've been playing that. Yep.
Excellent.
What about you?
Oh, I've just been doing some Destiny. I do still appreciate the other stuff besides when we do our raid. So I enjoyed Iron Banner this week, and I'm looking forward to SRL starting tomorrow. It's like being able to play a racing game without buying a racing game and getting sucked into it. It's like a little bit of a side thing. It's like a racing game inside your game. It's kind of like Warthog racing in Halo. Like remember in Halo 1, there was that one map where you had to drive the Warthogs through the
Yep.
I forget what the
but
map
I never
was called.
liked that. The problem is I never wanted a Warthog race. I wanted to shoot people because that's why I bought the game. I mean, I appreciate it as a what I like to call faux content, where if you are not interested in the core mechanics of the game that you purchased and you want content, I think it's good. I think it's good for the health of the game and for the variety of the game, and for numerous amounts of reasons. I think it's good, but I don't like it, so none of that really matters. For the people that do, I think it's great.
I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing more of that kind of content, though. Because
I'm pretty sure
week
we have to.
Well, last week, the guys that do the Skylanders game. So Skylanders was kind of like Call of Duty, where it's a every other year kind of thing, different developer. So the guys that did the alternate year stuff, Activision said, hey, those guys are going to now be contributing content to Destiny with Bungie. So
yeah, I saw that. That's very interesting. I mean, that to me, that signifies a really good thing for them as a company too. Not only, because we're going to get content faster, which I think is one of the main reasons that they're partnering with somebody else, because they obviously don't have the time since they're working on Destiny 2. But that you're going to get some ideas and different things coming from a different company that they can inject into this game. Which for an MMO, just taking away the FPS side of things and looking at it as an MMO is a good idea, because MMOs live and die by these sort of these racing type things, like these events that aren't necessarily tied to the game itself. But a lot of people, the reason people love World of Warcraft isn't really the raiding. Raiding makes up a small amount. It's what I like to do. But there's millions of things to do outside of the realm of the normal game. So I think that's a good move. That's a great move for them. Yeah, I'm excited about that.
So that got me even more excited about Destiny 2. Or maybe it's more content coming for vanilla Destiny after.
That's what I was wondering, if
to kind of bridge the gap.
The gap bridge, yeah.
So,
but either way, that's a good thing. It's good news.
But I've been playing the shit out of that, and still Pokemon Go. And the lackluster update that came out today, you can get your Pikachu with the Santa hat, and a small handful of Gen 2 Pokemon can be hatched from eggs. Also known as the update that makes you buy incubators. So, yes.
Smart move. Keep the money train rolling. Yeah.
Doesn't seem like they have a problem with that.
No, they don't. They don't.
All right. Well, normally at this point, we would jump in the new releases, but there are literally none this week. You would be a complete idiot to go 2 weeks before Christmas and be like, hey, here's our new release, when everybody's already done Christmas shopping. So, well, not me, but most
human beings. I haven't either.
Their Christmas shopping.
Yeah. So, I haven't started yet, so that's good.
Nice. Yeah, see, then got a full, clean slate for you there.
So if you wanted to release a game, I would be that guy that would buy it, right?
Yeah, you'd be like, oh, shit, this new game. Oh, I've got that for myself. And then you still don't have any Christmas presents bought.
Right, exactly.
But yeah, so I assume next week will probably be the same with no new releases either, because a week before Christmas is the only thing worse than 2 weeks before Christmas. Actually, the week after Christmas is probably worse.
Pretty bad too.
Yeah. So for the next month and a half, 2 months, it's going to be kind of slow in the new releases. But on the other hand, there's plenty of news out there. So why don't we hop on over into gaming news? First story!
China is forcing game producers to reveal their loot box odds. This is pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. So, using addictive animations or other psychological tricks, games like Overwatch and Hearthstone hook you on free loot boxes and then make you pay for the rush with real money. Although that's not necessarily true, because Overwatch, you can get everything you want for free. But people do get addicted to it, and then they go out and buy it if they want to. So that's the key component there. That sounds a lot like gambling to China's Ministry of Culture. So it's it's insinuating some new rule. I'm going to say instantiating some new rules starting in May 2017. The government will force publishers to post the probability of all virtual items, props, and services. Wow, that's hardcore. Available in loot boxes, along with recent results on the game's official website, according to the ruling. As Joystick noted in a 2012 explainer, most people hate loot boxes. I don't agree with that, but that doesn't stop them from using them. And while they tarnish games, publishers can't wean themselves off of them either, claiming it makes them too much money to ignore, which I understand. Loot boxes can be fun, though. I must say this. The Chinese government says the ruling protects, quote, the rights and interests of consumers while promoting the healthy and orderly development of the online games industry. Reading between the lines, it probably means be happy that we're not banning these things altogether. Deal with it, bitches. China only opened up the country to console gaming a short while ago, so such regulation isn't that surprising. However, the market is increasingly important to film and game publishers, so it may trickle to other regions. After all, other types of in-game purchases have caught the eye of U.S. and European regulators before. Companies could also just change the odds per region, and as Las Vegas has figured out, knowing the terrible odds never stopped anyone from gambling, which is totally true. I think this would do nothing. But what are your thoughts? I mean, it doesn't sound like that big of a deal. And I know in China, people have really, really bad problems with online gambling, so it makes sense for them. But what do you think?
It's less gambling than gambling, but it really is. Like, if you're trying to get a certain piece of loot in a certain game, and you know that if you play the game for X amount of hours, that may drop in one of the free boxes you get, or you know that you can go pay a certain amount of money and get a whole handful of boxes to open up. Well, it's kind of nice to know the odds. And
it is.
And casinos don't hide that. You know that the odds that things pay out, like let's take roulette, for example. The odds are the exact fucking odds of that number showing up.
You see the odds, them before you even. There's no veil of ambiguity with that. You're like, I know what the odds are. I'm going to play this game, and I hope I win.
Yes. So that part makes perfect sense to me, and it's funny that it takes a government like China, where they're kind of like fuck everyone on, doesn't matter, and for them to be the ones to push this sort of. This sort of honesty approach to what's going on behind the scenes it's a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, and again, I think in China this has always been a real problem, especially with like the addiction of online video games in general, not just gambling, but it's a big business over there. So it makes sense for them to try to protect their people by just having this regulation put into place. So I understand it from that perspective. For me, as a person that plays these games all the time, I am not one to usually buy these items, but I'm also not the type of person that I think cares too much about what skin they have. I will give Overwatch credit in the sense that I have bought two or three from them. They're fairly low cost, and the reasoning that makes them so attractive and why they're so good at selling you loot boxes is because they do everything on a limited time schedule. So like, you may get a ton of loot boxes, but then the Christmas skins or the whatever skins, the event style skins will come out, and they'll only be there for 2-3 months. And if you aren't earning loot boxes during those 2-3 months, then you'll never get any of those skins.
And
so they do a pretty good job. Yes, absolutely. And it's definitely designed that way, and it's totally on purpose. So for those odds, I will say I've been frustrated a lot of times when I'm opening a box and I don't get anything. So I do think in some of those cases it would be nice to at least know what those odds are before I.
There's a 10% chance you'll get jack shit. Like, or is it a 70% chance you get jack shit? And
Right, you don't know.
lucky. You don't know. So yeah, I think this is good news, and it would be nice to see this kind of implemented across the board. But,
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I'd say with like the articles, I don't necessarily agree that everyone thinks that loot boxes are bad.
well, I
It
don't
still
think
is
that's what they're
exciting.
saying. I think they're saying that people like loot boxes. They don't like the idea that there's this gate where you get something slowly, or you can pay to get it right away. I think that's really what they're saying.
Yeah. I mean, and I do agree with that. I always feel like as long as there's the option to get it for free, though, that I think a lot of gamers don't mind it, or they actually enjoy it. Like I like the loot box mechanic in Overwatch. I think it adds to the replayability of the game, and it doesn't really take anything away. But I do agree and that's where the trickiness gets. Like if I knew that I could just buy a loot box and get the item for free, that would also make me pissed because I don't want there to be an advantage to pay, which is odd because when I do pay, I do want the advantage.
You want pay to win.
Right. So it's a slippery slope there, but at least putting the odds on it, I think would take a lot of that out of the equation, a lot of that anxiety out of the equation. So I think they're doing a good thing here. I really do.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do.
Yeah, for sure. All right, next story. Crysis developer, allegedly hasn't paid employees in 6 months. So Crytek, the developer of Crysis, Robinson, The Journey, or as we all know them, the guys that made Far Cry, have allegedly not paid some of their staff in nearly 6 months. Now, I will say, just before we go on with the story, this is kind of speculative because it has not been verified. However, according to one Reddit user with the username Crytek Throwaway, which means throwaway account, who claims to be a Crytek employee at the company's headquarters in Frankfurt, Germany. The whistleblower states, quote, "I am not sure where else to turn at this point. This has happened in the past a few times, but never for this long. Management never gives anyone heads up, and it isn't clear to me if they are getting paid or even informed from the owners." Quote, "The last time this happened, we were told it would be the last time, and yet it is happening again. Many of my coworkers moved from out of the country to work here and are unable to leave because they cannot afford to get back to their home due to their wages being withheld for so long." The poster, who again has not been independently verified, goes on to say, quote, "People are afraid to speak out," which I think is ridiculous, by the way, and reports that the company's higher-ups assured its workers that wages are coming soon. Other than that, upper management is apparently remaining completely silent on the issue. Quote, "Upper management refuses to speak with any of us, and our managers have no answers, and we have never been apologized to," end quote. It seems that this issue is not limited to Crytek's Frankfurt studio either. Quote, "This isn't just in Germany," claims the Reddit user. "This is all of our offices as far as I can tell." Staff at Crytek Black Sea, the company's Bulgarian studio, are also without pay for the 3rd month running. Reports comes from Let's Play Video Games. Crytek Black Sea is apparently also up for sale. That's not good. Crytek owns a number of studios throughout Europe and Asia, and previously within the USA. Crytek USA was closed in 2014 following a batch of layoffs as well. It was reported at that time that many of the staff members had quit following months of unpaid wages. So there is a bit of history here. Crytek UK, meanwhile, closed down at the same time that Crytek sold its rights to the Homefront series to Deep Silver. Many of those Crytek staff members continued to work on Homefront: The Revolution at the then newly formed Deep Silver Dambuster Studios, situated in the same city, Nottingham, as Crytek UK. So Crytek's latest game is their VR title, Robinson: The Journey, which is who apparently this guy says he's coming from and working on, which GameSpot has awarded a score of 7. So what do you think? I always looked at Crytek as I always thought they were a money-heavy company. Like they had the cash from the Far Cry series.
They pushed, especially with Crysis, they pushed PC gaming. Like they would build a game that no graphics card could handle, no PC could handle. You could have the very best, $12,000 rig on the market, and you couldn't get the settings up to 10. That's what they were known for. So to think that, to watch how far they've fallen here is kind of sad. But at the same time, like I go to work every day for a company. If I didn't get paid for a month, I'd be out of there looking for a job. I'd be like,
I would be raging pissed for the first missed payment because
you count on
let me say this, because if it was not at the very minimum, like divulged to me beforehand, like, hey, for this pay period, just so you know, we're gonna pay you, but we're missing. Maybe I would give it that one shot. But even in the back of my head, I'd already be thinking like, whoa, I'm not getting paid for this week. Something is wrong. I need to look for another place to work. I would never let it go 6 months.
6 months? Like, how do you survive without getting paid for 6 months?
That is almost, and I hate saying this, I don't want to like shift blame onto the workers, but are you fucking insane? Like, what is wrong with you as a person? Maybe there's not a lot of jobs out there. I completely understand if that's the case. But you're already not getting money. So
you might as well
just because there's no job, go home. Just at least, apply for unemployment or whatever you have to do in that country. But there is no reason to ever work for any employer for 6 months completely for free. Yeah. That is entirely your fault at that level. Yeah. I mean, for yourself, it is insane to me to do that.
But the reason why I said a month is because, like, let's say you get paid twice a month, and your employer doesn't pay you the first time, and then they say, "Oh, sorry, something got messed up with payroll, but it'll be fixed. Then don't worry, it'll be fixed." And when you get to the next one, you haven't got paid, then you're fucking out of there, man.
Gotta leave.
That's insane, and that's how you show them that you mean business. Because if you're sitting around for 6 months, they think that they have you, like you're kind of their slave, and
it's a lifelong lesson. And I'll even say this now because it's the same for getting a raise, getting a title change, any of these things in life. No employer is ever going to come to you for those things, because the minute the employer realizes that you don't care or that you'll never ask, why would they ever want to give you something that will ultimately result in them giving you more money? If you are totally sitting at your job, never saying a word, and time goes on, and you never ask for a raise, you never ask for a new title, you never ask for planning of your career based on wherever you are right now, it is your fault. It is not the employer's fault for not like looking at you and saying, I deserve, this guy gives more money, because companies don't work that way, right? Profit still drives whatever it is that they're doing, no matter where you are. You have to take it upon yourself when there is a problem to speak up. Like the whole quote of like, everyone's afraid to talk. You have literally nothing to lose. What could you be afraid of at this point? When it's 6 months not paid, you literally have nothing to be afraid of because you're working for free. It's illegal.
You're already not being paid. You might as well not get paid and do something fun. Go to fucking amusement park. Go to a casino. Right. Find another job. Like it's fuck Crytek.
I mean, fuck them for not doing it. If it's true, again, it's not verified. So
allegedly, but allegedly, they have said
allegedly fuck Crytek. Yeah, there is precedence, which I think is not a good sign. But yeah, I mean, the real shocker of the story should be that Crytek's not paying people. But the shocker for me when I read this was like the fact that anyone would stick around in a job for 6 months and also be afraid to speak out is insane. Don't ever let that happen to you. Please, if anyone from Crytek is listening to me right now, it's time to quit. It's over. 6 months is too long. And by the way, sue. You can totally sue them. There's no reason that you can't sue them. Even in Germany, I'm sure this is possible. Unpaid wages for more than a half a year is unbelievably illegal. At least it would be in the United States. So you might as well go after them. There's no reason not to.
Exactly.
Unpaid wages. So wow, crazy story.
Yep.
All right.
Next story.
You'll need a constant online connection to play Super Mario Run. This is via Digital Trends. The hotly anticipated launch of Nintendo's Super Mario Run, which, by the way, I have wish listed because I am so excited for when this comes out, is less than a week away. But unfortunately, there's some news about the game that will disappoint some players. The app, it turns out, will require a constant internet connection and will not feature any support for offline play. This information comes directly from Mario's original designer, Shigeru Miyamoto, according to Mashable. Allowing the game to be played offline was apparently too much of a security risk, and I use those in quotes, security risk, as it would open the title up for widespread piracy that can affect mobile releases. Quote, for us, we view our software as being a very important asset for us, which I would say is true. And also for consumers who are purchasing the game, we want to make sure that we are able to offer them in a way that the software is secure and that they'll be able to play it in a stable environment. Okay, I don't buy a lot of that. Earlier in the development process, there were plans to offer the game's World Tourney story mode for offline play. Ultimately, this presented challenges in terms of connecting a standalone mode with the network saved used in the online Toad Valley and Kingdom modes. So the feature was scrapped. These security concerns are apparently part of the reason why Super Mario Run will launch on iOS before it heads to Android devices. It's clear that Nintendo is taking a measured approach to this release, which is understandable given the huge difference between supplying software for their own hardware and then, of course, releasing it on an app in more than 150 countries on multiple platforms. So Super Mario Run is set to launch on iOS devices this Thursday, and Android version of the app is expected to be released sometime in 2017. But of course, there's no specific release date given just yet. So what do you think? Bad? Is it bad?
I feel like their reasoning behind this is not genuine. It's
not. It's about money.
Yeah. And what they're doing is they're actually screwing their game, because this is the kind of game where if you're on an airplane, you just sit there and play your fucking Super Mario Run. And granted, you can't buy your in-app purchases unless you're connected to internet in the air or whatever. But this is obviously a secondary motivation. There's plenty of games that can't be pirated that have other checks besides, oh yeah, am I online? Is this like? It just seems so disingenuous. But I guess there are plenty of iOS apps that are pirated. If you have a jailbroken iPhone, you can install a hacked IPA and go around it that way. But I think that Nintendo's playing it extra close to the hip because they're new to the phone space.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. Is
they're used to having their
afraid.
Software on their hardware, and
they're in a space where they don't control everything like they normally do. I totally, but I mean, the whole point of mobile play, and for anyone and everyone, is that it is completely portable in every way, shape, and form. Especially being on an airplane, that's one of the best ways to play games because you're so fucking bored. You might as well, be playing with your device, and that's where a lot of people, have their DSs and their 3DSs, and that's why you buy those devices. So it seems like, again, I agree, it's disingenuous, but it seems like what really pisses me off is that there's never been a Nintendo game, and they've done mobile their entire, careers from the Game Boy all the way up to DS. They've never required this in the past.
No.
And so that's why it comes off so like, okay, we know it's about the money. We understand that. But don't pretend it's a security concern, because it's not. There's no security concern at all. If you are going to get a hacked version of the game, your phone needs to also be hacked. Right? Like you need to jailbreak your phone. So you would be doing it knowing more than likely that you're getting a hacked version for that very reason. So I don't know. I get why they're doing it, but it kind of bums me out.
Yeah. It's that Nintendo thing where they just don't seem to get the industry. Like they make this, and maybe it's a Japanese company thing. I've heard this debated before, but it's, you think you know something, and whether it's right or wrong, because you think it's right, you're going to sell it as right. And I think that's what they're doing.
Yeah. And one thing I have to say, I agree with Blue. He just said in chat that the game is going to be cracked. It always happens. And that's the worst thing about this online style of DRM. It only ever hurts the consumer. It only ever hurts the guy that's playing legit, that doesn't want to crack the game, because it creates these inconveniences, right? Yeah. Like, the crackers will find a way. They're going to find a way.
They'll be playing on planes. They'll be playing.
They'll be the guys that are playing it on their jailbroken iPhone and doing it offline. So that's the thing that really always bums me about these types of decisions. Is they never are consumer first decisions. They're company first decisions, and it always ends up hurting the consumer when it really doesn't need to. I mean, if they're going to crack the game, if a pirate wants to pirate something, he's going to do it. Period. The end. It's the way it works. So until you can come up with a way to let the consumers have what they want, as well as protect your IP, you really shouldn't do these types of things. Let the game live on its own. Let people buy it. I guarantee the game's going to be a success. Oh, I mean, it's guaranteed. So I don't know. It bums me out. It bums me out. Still buying it, though.
Nintendo being Nintendo, but I'll probably buy it too, even though it does seem like kind of a a Mario Flappy Bird hybrid.
That's what it is.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Next story. Majesco abandons game publishing in favor of regenerative medicine. What? Majesco Entertainment's days as a game publisher are officially over following a merger with a regenerative medicine company called Polarity. The Costume Quest 2, Shadow Warrior, and Cooking Mama publishers signed a definitive merger agreement on December 8th that will now be moving forward under the Polarity moniker. This is so weird. The joint outfit will be based in Salt Lake City, Utah, and will focus entirely on developing and advancing the field of regenerative medicine and wound healing. Although the move might surprise some, Majesco's future as a publisher has been in the balance for quite some time. Back in 2014, the company almost collapsed after it was hit with a huge amount of layoffs. Only 5 staff members remained, prompting the firm to focus its efforts entirely on the digital market. In the months that followed, Majesco did manage to secure some funding, but longtime CEO Jesse Sutton reiterated his plan to seek, quote, new strategic opportunities that may be unrelated to our historical markets, end quote. Now the company has, of course, done just that, bringing an end to Majesco's time as a publisher for nearly 30 years. What do you think about this?
This is the most fucked up thing ever. It's not like they went into then publishing books or publishing movies or something. Like, to go from being a game publisher for 30 years and then be like, all right, we're going into regenerative medicine. We're going to deal with wound healing. Like, that is, it doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, my question too is, like, from a purchase standpoint, from the company buying them, Polarity, what's the value add? What exactly, if I focus on this one
if you're a medicine company and you're like,
yeah,
we really need this game publisher.
Like, what is that? That's all I want out of this story. More than anything I want when I read this, it was like, there's got to be something that I'm missing. What is the offer that they have? What are they bringing to the table? What avenues in business do they have a hold of that maybe Polarity doesn't, and they want access to it? Like, what is it that even makes this make sense? What is it?
Like, what could they have? Like, there's nothing that a medicine company could ever want from a gaming company, right?
That seems so weird to me. Like, I'm more like weirded out by it than I am like even shocked, because like, if I just need it to make sense to me. If someone could like come in and just be like, hey, the reason is because Bill knows this guy who knows this other guy who's like really into medicine and like he works there, I would even take that. Like, it could be that shallow. Where like a dude knows a dude who knew a dude and they worked on something at one point and that's why they bought it. But it doesn't seem like there's any connection here in reality. So I have to almost say, good for them. Like, you guys somehow convinced a company that has nothing to do with what you do to buy you, and you were also doing really poorly at the company that you were in the space that you were in the industry that you were in, and someone bought you anyway. So you guys must be fucking brilliant in terms of sales. You're like your sales guy, whoever it is, maybe it's a CEO, he's the shit. Everyone else clearly wasn't. But I got to give him props because I don't know how the fuck he made this happen. It's the deal of a lifetime, really.
Dude, this is like us getting acquired by Taco Bell.
That's what it is. Yes. Like, that's totally what it is.
And they're like, what?
Like, we clearly make no money on this. It's only 3 of us, and they only had 5. So if Taco Bell called tomorrow and was like, look, guys, we love what you guys are doing on Twitch. We love the show. We want to absorb the company. Want to bring everyone on board, and we're gonna make tacos together. But fuck yeah.
Yeah, we're in the taco business,
We're in
Jay.
the taco business. Guys, we're closing the channel down. We're making tacos 24 hours.
Yep. It's what we do. We've always been all about tacos.
That's really in our blood.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a hobby for us.
This was just it was a side thing until we can finally break into the taco industry. Yep.
Man. Whew. I don't even need to ask this question, but I feel like I have to. What do you think about this story?
Jay, this particular story really has me saying.
Really does.
What the fuck? And on that, why don't we hop on over to the mailbag and voicemails? Our good old friend Altius asks, are you too surprised that Nintendo hasn't come out with more information and details on the Switch yet? It's coming out in March, and there's still so much we don't know about it. Not to mention the lack of info has probably not stopped people from buying Xbox Ones and PS4s for Christmas.
Well, so I thought about this earlier when I don't know if you guys saw Jimmy Fallon, and he was on Nintendo went on Jimmy Fallon.
Oh yeah,
yeah. And I was thinking about it, like, man, they really have not given any info. And then on the show, he sort of lets out that they're going to be doing, a lot more in-depth info, I think, coming in after January. But a part of me thought, like, how ingenious this is for Nintendo and how the market currently is to really just not give any info out. I almost think it's better for them to not have the industry, and I mean us, media industry, sort of nitpick and go over every stat and everything that Nintendo is going to have for this game and find ways to make it seem like it's not a good thing. Because I feel like their position right now for Nintendo, where they are as a company, is it's really easy for journalists right now, especially myself, to shit on Nintendo. They have not done very well recently. But with the Switch, they have enough of a hype going with them. It's different enough that at face value, I would like to buy it. So, like, at the face value alone, I think it's a worthwhile buy. I really do. Did we just lose Derek? Oh, we did. We just lost Derek. What the fuck? Wow, it's the best show ever. Finally have no Derek. This is exactly what I've always wanted. All right, well, Derek's not here, but I'm gonna keep talking until he comes back on. Oh, it just popped you out. Did it just do that?
Yeah, now just you and me.
Just me and Hit.
No
this
bueno.
is like an old show.
No bueno. Quickly, somebody get LB in here. Oh no. Oh no. No bueno, ladies and gentlemen. Full on Skype failure going on right now. This is hilarious. Oh, I got a phone call. Hold on. What the hell just happened there?
He dropped.
All of a sudden, Jay disappeared, and then I saw you hit, and I thought you saw that Jay was gone, and then that wasn't the case because then you were gone too.
Me and Joel were like, let's get LB and do a quick episode of TNT.
Yeah, we're like,
and
it's time to do thick and thin. We did it. We're taking over.
We finally took over.
All right, for those of you in the
right.
audio version, we had some
hear
Skype
none of
issues
this.
back, and we're picking up right where we left off.
All
So-
right, who were we on last? Joel?
Yeah, I was talking. Yes. Yeah, and I'll condense it now since I've lost my entire train of thought. But essentially, what I was saying was that I think it's the best move that they've made as a company so far. I think if they can go as far as they can and release as little information as they can, I think it will only benefit them. I am excited to buy it, and a part of the reason I'm excited is because it is a mystery box to me. We know how it's going to function as a device, but outside of that, that's it. We know what the Switch is. We know that it will be portable, and we'll be able to take it away from our home and bring it with us. But outside of that, we just don't know. And I think that's what makes it exciting. So that's my take on it.
That part I agree with. And the things we do know, it's 720p when you go portable.
Yep.
The dock makes it 1080p when you're at your house. But so we do have some details, but not a whole lot. And you're right, that probably stops people from, like we did with the Wii U when they announced the Wii U specs. We were like, well, this is what we already have. Why would we buy this 2 years after when the next shit's coming in another 2 years?
Yep.
But the thing that doesn't make sense is if you do give more information now, because you're talking to us, we buy everything. But there's parents and of kids that don't have their own money. And those kids, these parents, if they're going to get a game console, they're getting either the Xbox One or the PS4 for Christmas because this thing is coming out in March. And those parents, same parents that just bought something, are not going to go out in March and buy their kid another console. It's not going to happen.
Yes, but I'd say that's already passed, right? Like the purchasing time, like you're talking about, is come and gone. I think that Nintendo would have loved to have a Christmas schedule. They missed it, and I know that they probably don't want to wait a whole nother year, which makes sense. I mean, they're kind of running out of time. But the people that buy Nintendos, I guess I would argue, especially the parents in that category, are generally going to be a younger crowd. Now, and it's weird. There's like this weird gap in age. Nintendo is great for, 14-year-olds, lower, maybe even a little bit higher. And then there's this gap where everyone wants to play Call of Duty and they want to do all this other shit. And they're going to buy their Xbox. But then when you get to like the 30-year-olds, the nostalgia group kicks back in. And those are the guys that have money and will buy. They don't need a parent. And they will go out and they'll buy their system. So in a way, I almost don't think it hurts them. I think it hurts them because it's not during Christmas. I think out of everything that hurts them the most, the information thing I don't think matters as much as it does when it's being sold. But from my perspective, the information thing makes it more valuable. Not having the information, I should say.
See, I almost think that if Nintendo, and only Nintendo could get away with this, but if Nintendo if Nintendo had come up with something like this, let's say the price is going to be $349 for the Switch. If they had said, okay, here's a special, not a gift card, but like some kind of thing that you can buy for your kid for Christmas, and it's going to be $300, and we're not going to bill you till it comes out, but you pay us $300 and you'll have something to put under the tree that says when the Switch comes out, it's coming to you. That's the kind of thing that no other console developer could do that, but Nintendo could. You could pre-sell this thing at a discount with a kind of an IOU type thing to put under the tree. And I think that would have worked for them. And that way you capture the holiday season, and you've prevented a sale for those where you're only getting one or the other. You've prevented that whole situation.
That's true. And I don't, for a marketing thing, I think you're right. Again, that doesn't have too much to do with the information they're releasing, but I do think that would have been a win-win for them to market it during the holidays in some form. Even if it was putting money down on a game like Zelda, like at least you could say, look, we're not going to do like IOUs on the system, but at least you'll be able to pre-order all these games. And then when the system comes out, you'll obviously have to buy the system because that's the only way you're going to play the game that you pre-ordered. Any of those number of things, I think it would have been a good idea to push that on the marketing side. But like in terms of the information, which is what the question that Altius is asking is, I don't know if it matters. Like where I sit right now from the information that they've given me, I'm probably going to buy it anyway because I respect it enough. First of all, it's Nintendo. I think Zelda looks amazing. And as a person who would have always liked to have bought a DS but never really had a reason to, I now get the DS for free, like essentially, right? Like I get that Portal in this for free. So I don't know. I mean, the information will be nice. I'm looking forward to the new information coming in January. But I don't think it hurts them as much as people believe it is, I guess is what I'm saying.
All right. I guess only time will tell.
Time will tell.
But another good question, Altius. Keeping us on our toes.
Yep.
All right. Well, if any of you have awesome feedback like Altius, give us a call, 773-527-2961. Email us at podcast@tooltoplay.com. You can also comment on this episode's thread on the Tool to Play homepage. And sponsors! Remember, by supporting our sponsors, you help support Still Got Game. We are right in the middle of the fucking holiday season. You're probably shopping for presents right now. So I have two suggestions for you. One, if someone on your that you have to buy a gift for, if they like technology shit, if they like geeky shit, ThinkGeek is your place to go. They have everything from Star Wars to all your sci-fi franchises to your Harry Potters to whatever. So if you're going to buy something there and you want the best possible deal, if you automatically go to tooltoplay.com/geek, that will give you their best coupon deal at the moment. And you go in there, you'll find everything for the people you want, and your gift giving is done at that point. So tooltoplay.com/geek. Now on the flip side, you have someone that doesn't like geeky shit, but they definitely like craft beer, because who doesn't? So the Craft Beer Club has you can either give like a 1 month thing, you can give 3 months, 6 months, a year. Doesn't matter what the kind of range you want to give someone. But if you want to give someone like hand-selected craft beers that come every month or just some limited amount of months, you can do that, and it'll come with free pint glasses and all this other stuff. But if you want to give that as a gift, it's really easy to do. You go to tooltoplay.com/beer, and that will give you the best possible deal that the Craft Beer Club is offering right now. So either tooltoplay.com/geek or tooltoplay.com/beer, and all of your gift giving is done. And if you want to sponsor us, give us a call, 773-527-2961. Email us podcast@tooltoplay.com. You tell us what you're selling. We'll tell you you're going to pay us. We'll sell it. You pay us. Boom. Done. Twitter us up. You can find everything Tool to Play related at twitter.com/Tool to Play. Everything podcast related at twitter.com/still_got_game. I, king of the fucking internet, god of everything that's fucking holy, Twitter.com/Derek Nolan.
And you can find me at twitter.com/dudeIRock.
Facebook the fuck out of us. Facebook.com/tool2play. Facebook.com/Derek Nolan.
Facebook.com/dudeIRock.
We also have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/tool2play. That is the place to find all of Tool to Play's archive video content, whether it's old episodes of this show, whether it's episodes of Thick and Thin with LB Duty and Hit, whether it's Tiff's immature interviews, whether it's old archive game footage. Doesn't matter. It all ends up on our YouTube channel. And just a little Christmas present for you all. Hit told us tonight, just before the show, that Hit's Quick Hits is coming back. It is a special Christmas present for you guys. So right after Christmas, he's expecting to get some physical copies of games, and that's when that shrink wrap will be coming off and give you the old crinkle, crinkle, crinkle.
Chris Crinkle, if you will. Chris Crinkle.
Oh,
there's a pun there.
No,
he has to do it.
That was punny.
Yes, he has to do it now. He has no choice.
Yes. So it is coming back after Christmas. So Hit is promised. And if for some reason you want to let him know how much you're looking forward to it, you can find him on Twitter at i6hitman or facebook.com/i6hitman, and let him know that you're really looking forward to his return of Hit's Quick Hits, because God knows I fucking am. I can't wait to sit down that night, pour myself a fresh vodka, lean back on the couch, fire up Twitch there, and just watch it. It's going to be awesome. Also, please rate and review our podcast in iTunes. We need some 5-star reviews. We need some nice comments. The 5 stars is a gimme. Like, you just go there, just click it. It's a no-brainer. You're done. But if you have an extra 20 seconds and you can write something nice about us, this show's awesome. The hosts are awesome. The hosts are handsome. Oh my God, the dynamics in this show are amazing. These guys have such a formulaic show. I know exactly what's coming each week, and I can't wait till the next segment. Whatever you want to write, just write it. Give it the 5 stars with it, and you help us out. And we'd really appreciate that. Also, we have a Twitch channel, twitch.tv/tool2play. That is where some of you are watching us live now, and some of you watch our other live coverage there. But for those of you who don't, you go there and you follow us on Twitch. You'll be notified anytime we do any live streaming on twitch.tv/tool2play. And also, there's also a subscribe button there. And that is where, if you feel like directly supporting us, you can click that subscribe button and help us out. And here's a little thing I'm going to tell you, and you probably don't know this, but if you're an Amazon Prime subscriber, you get some special shit on Twitch. And one of those special things is each and every month, you get to subscribe to a single Twitch streamer absolutely free. So you can go there and subscribe. And now, granted, you have to remember to go back each month and resubscribe to give them your support. But for all of you out there that are Amazon Prime subscribers, you could give us so many Twitch subscribers just by going there. It doesn't cost you anything. So go there, use your free subscription on us, and just once a month when you're listening to the show, be like, oh, yeah, I should go resubscribe to them. And it would really help us out, and we would appreciate that tremendously. Right, Jay?
Abso-frickin-lutely.
All right. Then before we wrap this up, and I get to go watch the Patriots game already in progress, I want to remind you all that you can join us each and every Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, twitch.tv/tool2play. And on that, why don't we wrap this episode up? I am Derek D. Smooth Nolan.
And I am Joel Dude Rock Albert.
We'll see you guys next week. 100% guaranteed for sure, because the next week is Christmas and we won't be here then, probably.